What is up, you guys? It is your boy John here from Pumaplow. Welcome back to another Plains and Simple on the PC here. Of course, Farm Sim 17, Plains and Simple by the one, the only Mr. Stevie, of course. And today, guys, we're going to start off with, first off, if you guys haven't noticed there to our left, that field is all planted in corn and it is grown. I have fast timed this map and put a considerable amount of time in. But hey, if you guys wouldn't mind to hit that subscribe button, make sure that bell's ringing, I would greatly appreciate it. So, words are hard. What we are going to be doing today, first and foremost, real fast off the top of the video here, I am leasing a couple of the New Holland forage harvesters that are right here and so shiny looking. They were originally added to Farm Sim with the New Holland DLC for Farm Sim 15. It was a free DLC, I believe, and I kind of feel like it was a way for them just to put them in the game so that they would be in for 17. As weird as that sounds, that's kind of how I feel it went. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and we leased two of them. We already own one forage harvester, of course, but we're going to be busy using it too. So we've got a lot of harvesting to do, and not in the normal sense, if you know what I'm saying. So it is going to be very, very interesting, and a lot of courseplay involved, and running into stop signs, and hoping you guys didn't see it. But I mentioned it. So of course everybody saw it, right? I totally didn't run into a stop sign. You can tell it's a Stevie map, by the way. One of the big reasons you can tell it's a Stevie map is signs are indestructible. Oh, and I changed my mind here, by the way. I was going to go to field 4, and then I decided to go to field 2 just because so when you're forage harvesting here, okay, or whatever you want to call it, yeah, forage harvesting. When you're actually doing this, the tractors, and especially if you use trucks, when you get to the ends of the passes, they like to go a little crazy and kind of drive away. So field 4, I'm probably never going to put a forage harvester in ever again, because you have trees on both sides, a fence on one side. Like, it's terrible. It's just terrible. So not gonna do that. Not an ideal situation there, but hey, it's okay because we have other fields. You see, that's why our grass field is field 7, where there's nothing around it. I've cut down every single tree around it just because it's nice and stuff like that. So I'm actually driving this tractor right here just for a minute here to get away from the trees and the fences and stuff, because you know you run into problems and it just gets annoying. But hey, it's okay. It actually, I did learn a little bit of a lesson here that I will show you guys in a minute with both fields. We will get into that in a minute. It's something that I remember doing when we were mowing grass with the all crop head back in the day with the Crone forage harvester. It reminded me of that, so I was like, hey, I need to do that. I need to do that. Alright. So yeah, getting some of this stuff set up sometimes is like not a struggle, but it's kind of annoying to just the way you have to go about kind of everything and stuff. So yeah, so chaff doesn't show up in the thing for some reason, but yeah, so we're doing the big field, right? And we're doing field 2, right? So it's a lot. It's gonna be a lot, but that's okay. Alright, so just getting all these tractors fired up and running on a course, picking a harvester, you know, it can take a minute. You guys noticed I did buy another auger, not an auger wagon, another loading wagon. We're up to 4 loading wagons now on the map, and I don't know, sometimes I almost feel that's not enough, but that's okay, because the idea behind going so crazy and trying to chop all of this corn, because it's a lot of corn, let's just be real. The theory behind it was, okay, do it once and I'm done. I should not have to do this again for the life of the map. If I do, that means we're going nuts into cows, okay? Like, going crazy with the amount of cows. So I remembered from planting or harvesting grass with the all crop head that you crank up how many times he goes around the fields. As many times as you can put. It just works better sometimes to put him going as many times around the field as possible, because then you have more end rows or headlands. It's end rows in my opinion. You would have more end rows to turn around in, therefore giving more room to your tractors for them to turn around, so they don't go take off and then run into, say with this field, they would run into the biogas plant. But if you set them to go 6 or 7 or whatever times around in a circle first before going back and forth, it seems like it helps quite a bit. So that's exactly what I'm going to do with both fields right now. That's exactly what I'm going to do. I was not going to use courseplay for this harvester, but I decided to go ahead so that I could get my end rows and get all the way around the field a couple good times before he started going back and forth. It just made sense to me at the time, and it worked fairly well. It actually turned out fairly well. So there is that. Yeah, tabbing through all the stuff, making sure my mower's running good and all that. And then lots of loading wagons here, guys. Lots and lots of loading wagons. And you can see, here goes number 5. Trying to keep up with 2 harvesters, it was a lot. It was a lot. I will use the 3rd one for grass eventually. But trying to keep up with 2 harvesters is like, it's a long process, you know? It really is. It's a lot to keep up with. The amount of yield that you get out of corn is absolutely insane. It really is insane. So you need lots of tippers to haul it away. Especially with the big field, because of the travel distance that they have to go. Like, they have to go pretty far. And sometimes you just need more because they're driving so far. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? So that's exactly what I'm doing. I have tippers sitting around. These are from harvesting the sugar beets from a while ago. So it's like, hey, why not? Let's just all hands on deck, boys. Hit a save there real quick, you know. All hands on deck. That's what it's all about right now. And yeah. Literally. All hands on deck. Here comes a quad track out into the field. Like, I'll use anything that has an engine under the hood, you know, except for trucks. Trucks, I just don't like using trucks, A, in the field, and B, I tried them in field 4 that time, and I don't think I'll use a truck again for forage harvesting. I could probably get away with it if I do the fields like I was saying, with all the end rows first. Maybe get away with it, but if I don't have to, then I don't want to, kind of deal. So there's that. There is that. And they are just a running. They are just a running. And obviously I'm not going to show it all in this video because it took hours and hours and hours to get this done. The problem is you'd get one tractor that would maybe come in a little hot to do the swap here, and he would cut off the harvester. Well, then the harvester's not going to move. And everything else backs up, and it's just like, oh my goodness. And then I was having a little bit of problem there with overlap in my courses. These are old courses that just overlap a smidge at times. They're fine if you're running one truck like during a regular harvest. These courses are completely fine for a regular harvest. But because I was running so many things on one course, it gets to be a problem. So then I remembered I have this other course set up here from field 6 when I was harvesting the sugar beets. So I'm like, hey, I'll put a couple on there because there's plenty of room up there for you know, tractors and wagons. Not going to have any collision issues is basically what I was getting at. So you do have to be mindful of your courses overlapping, especially if you have more than one thing running on those courses, because they pile up there and wait their turn, basically, is what's going on. So there's that. And then the other problem that I was having, and I'm going to go ahead and say that articulated stuff was better for this, but they would get real whippy trying to get on the course for the first time. It was like they were drunk driving, trying to get on the course. So I had problems with that as well, and I was not happy about that at all. Just saying, I was none too happy about that. So kind of gonna let all that stuff run and get something done that I've been wanting to get done for a while, and that is using the conveyor belts at the cows Yes, there are mods to make the cows not messy, or there's mods that will run back and forth to clean. Yes, I could use those, but I am enjoying on this series keeping it, for the most part, low on mods. Yes, I'm running mods. The map is a mod. The glance up there in the top right's a mod. Vehicle group switcher, of course, is a mod. But as far as equipment goes, outside of the Pumaplow and maybe a couple other little things, for the most part, I'm keeping this map pretty well mod free. You know, trying to keep it mod free. And of course, Courseplay I think is probably the biggest mod, or besides the map, the mod that I use the most is probably Courseplay, outside of course the map, because you can't use anything more than the map on a modded map, right? Just saying, it's kind of the way it works. At least in my head, that's the way it works. So there's that. But yeah, basically I'm gonna haul a bunch of conveyor belts, and we're going to line them all up to, oh, here. I start changing the tires around because I'm like, whoa, I didn't know you could put duals on this bad boy. But I realized something very quickly with it. It doesn't turn. And I don't think it's the rear duals necessarily, it's the front duals. The front duals don't allow the front wheels to turn as sharp as they would before, and I did not like it. I did not like it right away. Let me tell you that much. I did not like it. So that's like fat dual tires, basically. You know, it's weird. We've had Farm Sim 17 for a year and like a half, almost at this point. And I've never messed with a lot of the wheel combos on these tractors. Like, who knew I could put just rear duals on this thing? And it actually still turns very well with rear duals. It's when you put the front duals on that it's like, nah. Not having it, bro. Not having it. So it's kind of unfortunate, but you know, it's okay all at the same time. So basically we're going to take these little, I call them lift conveyors or whatever, the first little bit of the conveyor belt system. We take these first, point them at the cows to pick up all the grass, and then you got to take big ones and put them there as well, which we will get to in a minute. So yeah, there's that. Okay, and actually, if you notice, there's one too many. Clearly, there's one too many. But yeah, with the rear duals on, this tractor still turns. Oh, and I thought I could sneak through there, and I totally forgot there was a truck sitting in there. I felt real dumb afterwards. Don't worry. Don't worry. All right, so we're going to get a bunch of the extendable conveyors, the long ones now, because that's what you need to make this a whole thing. Just saying. You need these. Otherwise, it's not going to work for, like, anything at all. Just saying. So, yeah. Go ahead and plop it. Plop it. Plop it out. Got to extend this one all the way out. And then this first one gets bent at a 90 here. Or close enough to a 90 anyway. It doesn't have to be perfect, but gets bent at a 90 and slid up under there. And then that's what actually puts the grass back in to feed the cows, is the first one there. So yes, there's that. Alright, so we got two more. Maybe I buy a fourth one total. I don't know. I cannot remember at this point. But got to turn them around first. It's so much faster to turn them around with the tractor than it would be to turn the thing around. And you see Courseplay keeps opening because right mouse button opens Courseplay. But right mouse button also does actions with the conveyor belts, of course. So there's that. Alright, so that one's working. I don't know why, but this one conveyor belt was very annoying and would not empty into there, like, at all. And I don't understand it. Every other conveyor belt was totally fine. Even the ones that would empty into the second part like this were totally fine. But for some reason, that one just, I don't know. It wanted to cause problems, I guess. It wanted me to rage. I don't know. I don't know what the deal was, but it was not having it. Not having it at all. But hey, that's okay. Alright, fixing more problems out here in the field. And, you know, just getting things set up. That's all. It takes a little time to get all the kinks worked out of the system and See, like right there, he was over just a smidge too far. And that harvester was like, no, man, you're in the way, bro. Not having it, dog. It's like, come on, really? And course play open again, of course. Of course play. Get it? Okay, I'll stop. I'll be here all day. And then I was like, hey, we'll put it into this one, but that doesn't actually work. That won't, the first one won't activate over that. But if it did, I was like, this is totally cool, but it won't work. Totally won't work. And I realized that later, I believe, but hey, that's okay. So I guess my theory was, can I still get straw to them? Because I still need to get straw in that feed trough. I can actually use, you're not putting it in the feed trough, you're putting it in the building. You should be using a straw blower to blow the straw into the building. However, baling straw and trying to blow it in there for over 400 cows with our potential that we're going much, much higher is going to be a nightmare. So as long as I back in right here with my trailer, I can feed them here. I can put straw in here. Or there's a feed trough on the side of the pen as well that I can use. So, and I have used. You guys see there we were up to 700 and something thousand liters of chaff already. And it's only been, I mean, not even an hour of chaffing. Just saying. It's a lot. It's a lot already, but that's okay. Many hours to come that you guys won't see. Just saying. Just saying. Alright, dumping this load in as well of the mixed rations, because why not? Or the power food, or total mixed rations, whatever it's called. Mixed rations in my book. What was I doing with this tractor? I cannot remember. Oh, I'm parking it? No. What am I doing? Oh, this is another mod I recently added. We call it the Snowblower. It is one of the handiest mods on Farm Sim. Just saying. I don't believe that's the super modded version like we used on Cherry Hill. It is just a slightly modified version. We had one on Cherry Hill that have 100,000 liter capacity or something stupid like that. This one I don't think holds but maybe 500 or 1,000 liters or something like that. And that's fine. It's fine. It's plenty fast. It's plenty everything. You can see how fast it's filling my truck. And because the pile's so big, I can just kind of set it there for a while and let it eat and fill my truck with manure, because it's time to make money from my manure. Besides just using it on the fields to fertilize, we're going to go ahead and try to make a little bit of money from it. Do we need the money? No, we have $3.3 million. But it's another thing to do on the map and another thing to keep up with and all that stuff. So it should be a lot of fun. Something like that. Should be a lot of fun. The problem is I got rid of all of the east-west roads in this side of the map, except for the one all the way north or the one all the way south. And I don't like to drive through the crop, especially with the truck, so we went all the way around. We went all the way around instead. So over here is like your greenhouses and stuff. Stevie is awesome to put greenhouses in all of his maps, or pretty much all of his maps now. And so yeah, to run the greenhouses you need 3 things. You need compost, manure, and water. So what you do first off is you can take stuff and put it into the composter, and you make compost out of it. And then you haul manure over and haul over water. So I was having this problem here where they couldn't get on the course. Did you see how whippy that was? They can't get on the course for the first time for some reason, and it drives me crazy. After they're on the course, they're fine and dandy. It's just that initial boot up on the course that was driving me nuts. Anyway, so we need manure in here, and we also need diesel fuel. Now, we have diesel fuel over at BGA, I believe. We'll have to check that in a future video. Just saying, because today, all we're going to get done is a little bit more manure. And I could probably set course play up for this, at least to... Yeah, probably could set up course play for that. I don't know, the whole backing up thing with course play I'm still kind of like leery of. And as far as the dump truck goes, people have sent me dump trucks. And people have sent me dump trucks. I believe there's one I haven't tried as of making this voiceover. Somebody emailed it to me. But other people have sent me dump trucks, and none of them work on course play. And it's frustrating that, like, none of these trucks like to work on course play. So the last one somebody sent me, in the email they said this one works on course play, but I have not tried it yet. So I will try it eventually. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, toodles.